All right, this piece was inspired first and foremost by finally having an opportunity to truly consider the word vagina, to consider vaginas in general, my own vagina, all of your vaginas. More specifically, the very first monologue details different words for vagina, and I was both appalled and intrigued by the list. And all throughout my read, I was keeping mental notes on my own personal journey with how to name a vagina. This essay is called Cuckoo, Not Beaver. According to my 2-year-old daughter, the word for vagina is cuckoo, as in, Mommy, wipe my cuckoo, or once, Mommy, what's in your cuckoo? I swear there was nothing in there. I'm not sure why she asked me that. I did not teach her cuckoo. I suppose it came from daycare, maybe from her teacher or a friend, or, words written with Sharpie on the bathroom walls. I don't know. My favorite theory is that she made it up completely. I tried to think back on times that I had referred to my own vagina in any context other than talking to a gynecologist. It hadn't occurred to me that I had never actually had any word for my vagina, or even vaginas at large. I'm further embarrassed to confess that until about 2 weeks ago, I didn't actually know what the word vulva meant at all. Things might have worked out all along if we had always used the word vulva more commonly than vagina. A vulva sounds like a very special type of plant, or maybe a really exotic moth. It's a nice word, but at this point, it feels like it belongs in a textbook and nowhere else. No one ever says, touch my vulva, but they probably should, right? The word cuckoo is believed by scholars to have been derived from the Latin coochie, or cooter. I asked my best friend what other words we used for vagina back in high school, and she reminded me of the time when we were 16 and made a big chocolate cake from a grocery store mix for no reason at all and wrote hot vagina on it with bright pink icing. Because apparently the word vagina was a joke to us at the time. We liked to call our vaginas vag or vajayjay. We thought it was funny to say hoo-ha, as in, I can see your hoo-ha. Teenage boys sometimes called it a taco, but I don't get that one, because tacos always seem to have some kind of crema on them or like sour cream. And then there's all the chunky meat. I don't know. I don't feel good about all that. In the early 2000s, a bunch of mothers, my own included, got together and decided that the word cunt was the most offensive word known to man, and you must never say it. Promise me you don't say it, and if anyone ever calls you that, I give you full permission to punch them in the face. If it's the worst swear word of all time, how could anyone use it to describe a vagina? It seems cruel and offensive to vaginas that the worst swear word there is actually means vagina. My high school boyfriend did once call me a cunt, and I did punch him in the face. I was not even being a cunt. But the British throw that word around more casually than we say bitch. They use cunt almost like it's a silly insult. But vaginas aren't silly either. They are not little bitches. Once, over breakfast, years ago, an Irish man welcomed me to try some of his omelet, and when I took only a small bite, he said, "Go on, have some more, you miserable cunt." The Americans at the table froze and stared at him, mouths open, half-chewed food dribbling out. I went to a bachelorette party once, and we all had to prepare PowerPoint presentations with which to amuse each other. And one girl who was really obsessed with vaginas made her presentation about them. The slide that stuck with me the most was about the different names for vaginas. I gagged at beaver, and she and her girlfriend were shocked. "You don't like the name beaver for vagina?" they said, aghast. "No," I said, "it reminds me too much of an actual beaver." "What do you have against beavers?" "Nothing. I like them, but they're cute, and I don't want to compare them to my vagina." "But aren't vaginas cute?" they asked. "Are vaginas cute? I still have not decided." But when I thought about it, the cuteness wasn't really my issue. My issue was the fact that beavers have giant front teeth. My issue was that beavers have giant slappy tails, which are actually more reminiscent of a penis that's been run over by a car. I see a beaver in the creek behind my house sometimes. He's a night beaver. I only ever see him at night. Often, I sing down to him, "Night beaver, night beaver." And of course, he swims away in fear. But I can't for the life of me understand how anyone ever looked that animal in the face and immediately thought, vagina. I don't see it. Pussy is not a great one either, and not because of the animal connection, even though my grandmother was the last remaining person on